Happy Monday, everybody. It's time for another About to Break 5-Minute Monday. Just a little Kickstarter episode for your week. Something to get you to think about life and something to challenge you, something that's challenging me. You see, these are not things that I've discovered on my own. These are little bits of wisdom I've picked up from friends along the way and some of the great guests that we've had on the About to Break podcast. And today I just want to focus on this one word for the next couple of minutes, and the word is insecurity. Have you ever dealt with it? Now, I know sometimes people think that only a certain type of person or a certain demeanor person is going to deal with insecurity, but the truth is, even if you're an extrovert, insecurity can be a huge thing. If you don't believe me, go to any comedy club green room any night of the week, and you will see people who spend their entire life giving someone else an experience that oftentimes they're trying to experience themselves, right? And I was dealing with this a few years ago pretty significantly. And the thing that got me reminded of it and thinking about it was going back and listening to this conversation I had with Christian Paschall. Christian is an amazing drummer. He's a dear friend. In fact, conversations with him late night after shows, staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning, thinking about life and the mysteries of the world. Conversations like that are what kickstarted this podcast in the first place. But I was thinking about a point of the episode where Christian talks about feeling like he knows other people think that he's good at what he does. And, you know, he'll talk to young drummers and they'll come up to him and they'll think that he's really good. And he's not saying this in an arrogant way. What he's saying is he still struggles thinking, am I good enough? Am I really good at what I do, or have I just fooled enough people that they've given me opportunity? Now, right now, Christian is touring with amazing musician Maren Morris, singer, songwriter, won a New Artist of the Year at the CMAs last year. And so Christian's doing really, really good. But when we first sat down, he had just started on the road touring with Maren. He had been playing with her back before she was discovered. And, you know, he talked about this idea of feeling like, man, when I'm around other drummers and other musicians and comparing myself to other people and thinking, am I good enough? It doesn't matter how outgoing you are, insecurity can hit all of us. And a few years ago, my wife, Katie, God bless her, she's so much better at life than I am. I don't know how I would do anything without her. But a few years ago, I remember one night I was getting, gosh, this must have been like 8 or 9 years ago now, but I was getting ready to go to the Magic Castle. And at the time, I wasn't a full-time performer. That wasn't my main occupation. And I was performing on the side, and I was taking it very seriously, but I was hanging out with a lot of friends who this is what they did full time. This is how they paid their bills. It was their bread and butter. And so whenever I would get around other performers who did this as their profession, I would all of a sudden get really insecure and just overwhelmed with this feeling of like, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe they're going to think I'm a hack. Maybe they're going to think that I shouldn't be even doing this in the first place. And for me, someone who's normally outgoing, this insecurity would just cripple me. Like, I literally would get to a point where I couldn't talk in front of other people, and I would be so shy. And if someone invited me to go somewhere, I would apologize constantly that I was there. And it's really weird to think back to those times when I would let that kind of control me. And at this moment, I was getting ready to go out the door to go to the castle, and I was so overwhelmed and so anxious and so worried. And it's one of the only times that I remember Katie sitting me down and saying, Taylor, I need to talk to you. You got to stop letting other people's opinions drive what you do and who you are. And she just spoke life into me and said, look, who you are is good enough. First of all, who you are is all you got. So give that to people. Don't try to impress them or act like someone else or worry that maybe you're not talented enough or funny enough or magical enough. Just be you. And it's so funny because these guys that I was going to hang with, that's why we were friends in the first place, because we hit it off before we knew what each other was into, before we knew that we were going to go into entertainment, before any of this stuff, right? And it was just such a great challenge to me to go, look, it's okay to take what you do seriously, but you don't have to take yourself so seriously, right? It's kind of a motto that Katie and I have tried to live by. Like, yeah, let's take what we're about very seriously, but let's not take ourselves so seriously. Let's not be so worried that someone else's opinion is going to devalue or crush or prevent us from being who we're supposed to be. So my challenge to you this week, as you start your Monday, as you kickstart your week, as you go out there and you do the thing that you do, be yourself. Be yourself, right? You is good enough. You is what you got. Go give it to the world.